The Princess and the Seven Dwarfs. Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, nestled between lush green hills and sparkling rivers, there lived a kind and beautiful princess named Isabella. Her golden hair flowed like rivers of sunshine, and her eyes were the color of the deepest sapphires. Her parents, King Leopold and Queen Annabella, ruled the land with fairness and compassion. Under their reign, the kingdom flourished, and the people lived in harmony. One bright morning, Princess Isabella decided to explore the forest that bordered her father's kingdom. She donned a simple, flowing gown and set off on horseback, accompanied by her loyal steed, Stardust. The forest was a place of magic and mystery, with towering trees, singing birds, and flowers that seemed to whisper secrets. Isabella loved the tranquility and the sense of adventure it offered. As she rode deeper into the woods, she stumbled upon a small, hidden path that she had never noticed before. Curious, she followed it until she came to a clearing. In the center of the clearing stood a quaint little cottage with a thatched roof and colorful flowers blooming all around it. The sight was so enchanting that she couldn't resist taking a closer look. She dismounted and knocked on the door, but there was no response. The door creaked open, revealing a cozy interior. There was a large fireplace, a rustic table set for seven, and 7 tiny beds lined up neatly against the wall. Exhausted from her journey, Isabella decided to rest for a moment. She lay down on the smallest bed and fell into a deep, peaceful sleep. As the sun began to set, the true owners of the cottage returned. They were 7 dwarfs, each with a distinct personality: Doc, the wise leader; Grumpy, who always had a scowl; Happy, with his perpetual smile; Sleepy, who could barely keep his eyes open; Bashful, who blushed at the slightest attention; Sneezy, who had a constant cold; and Dopey, the lovable and silent one. When they saw the beautiful princess sleeping in their beds, they were both surprised and delighted. Doc, with his spectacles perched on his nose, gently woke her up. "Who are you, dear lady?" he asked kindly. Startled, Isabella sat up and said, "I am Princess Isabella. I got lost in the forest and found your lovely cottage. I hope you don't mind that I rested here." The dwarfs, charmed by her grace and kindness, immediately offered her a place to stay. "Of course, you can stay with us, Princess Isabella," Doc said. "We would be honored to have you as our guest." Days turned into weeks, and Isabella grew fond of the dwarfs. She helped them with their chores, cooked delicious meals, and brought joy and laughter into their little home. In return, the dwarfs adored her and protected her like their own sister. She would tell them stories of the palace and teach them songs, while they shared their knowledge of the forest and its wonders. One evening, as they all sat by the fireplace, Isabella asked about the forest's secrets. Doc, stroking his beard thoughtfully, spoke of the enchanted creatures that lived deep within the woods and the ancient magic that protected the land. The dwarfs warned her about the dangers as well, especially the evil Queen Malvina, who resided in a dark tower far away. Meanwhile, in the palace, Queen Malvina, who was deeply envious of Isabella's beauty and goodness, discovered her whereabouts through her magic mirror. Her jealousy consumed her, and she concocted a wicked plan to rid herself of the princess once and for all. Disguised as an old peddler woman, she ventured into the forest with a basket of poisoned apples. Her face was twisted with malice as she made her way to the dwarf's cottage. She knocked on the door, and Isabella, always kind-hearted, welcomed the old woman. "Good day, dear girl," the disguised queen said. "Would you like to taste one of my delicious apples? They are fresh and juicy." Isabella, unaware of the danger, took an apple and bit into it. The poison worked instantly, and she fell to the ground, unconscious. The queen, satisfied with her deed, fled back to her dark tower, believing her plan had succeeded. When the dwarfs returned home, they found Isabella lying lifeless on the ground. Their hearts broke at the sight. They wept and mourned her deeply, placing her in a glass coffin adorned with flowers. Days turned into weeks, and the forest itself seemed to grieve the loss of the beloved princess. News of Princess Isabella's plight eventually reached a neighboring kingdom, where a brave and noble prince named Alexander resided. He had heard tales of her beauty and kindness, and felt compelled to find her. He rode his horse tirelessly through the forest, determined to reach the dwarf's cottage. When Prince Alexander arrived, he was struck by the sight of Isabella lying in the glass coffin. Her beauty shone even in her apparent death. Overcome with sorrow and love, he leaned over and gently kissed her forehead. Miraculously, the poison spell broke, and Isabella's eyes fluttered open. The dwarfs, who had been keeping vigil, cheered with joy as Isabella and Alexander gazed into each other's eyes. They knew they were destined to be together. The prince took Isabella's hand, and they rode back to her kingdom. Upon their arrival, King Leopold and Queen Annabella welcomed them with open arms. The evil Queen Malvina, seeing that her plan had failed and fearing retribution, fled the kingdom in disgrace, never to be seen again. Princess Isabella and Prince Alexander were married in a grand celebration that lasted for days. The dwarfs were honored guests at the wedding and received the highest recognition for their bravery and kindness. Together, Isabella and Alexander ruled their kingdom with wisdom and love, ensuring that peace and happiness reigned for generations to come. The story of their bravery, the kindness of the seven dwarfs, and the triumph of good over evil was passed down through the ages, a timeless testament to the power of friendship and true love. And so, they all lived happily ever after.